Taliban takeover of Afghanistan now inevitable?
No, it is not. Because you have the Afghan troops have 300,000.
The person you just heard talking was President of the United States of America. This conference was done just few days before the Taliban captured, Kabul. And now you will listen to a clip which came just when, Taliban captured the Kabul.
This did unfold more quickly than we had anticipated. So what's happened? Afghanistan political leaders gave up and fled the country. The Afghan military collapsed, sometime without trying to fight.
Now I guess it's pretty clear that today we are going to talk about Taliban. Taliban is in news all around the globe. Every news agency is talking about Taliban. The whole world media is very worried about it. All the countries are worried about it. And Taliban has a great repercussion on India and the people of India. So yeah, today we're going to talk about Taliban, and the whole discussion would be upon Taliban. So let's jump into it and dive into a whole lot of history and a whole lot of story.
Taliban.
Afghanistan is been regarded as the graveyards of empire. There are very few kings in the history, when we turn the pages of history, who have really captured Afghanistan. Very few of them are like Maharaja Ranjit Singh, Genghis Khan, and one or two others. Otherwise, no one has ever captured Afghanistan completely. Even if someone has captured it, no one has been able to put control over it. It's been very problematic to control Afghanistan. So it is happening in a new era also. We look into the pages, Britishers, Russians, all of them tried to invade Afghanistan and conquer it. Britishers fought 2 to 3 wars, they just lost all of them. Russians, they tried to control Afghanistan, but suddenly it is said that Afghanistan crisis was one of the reasons why Soviet Russia broke into modern day. Fate has also crippled United States of America and its NATO allies. We all know they have fled the Afghanistan, leading to a very huge humanitarian crisis which the world is facing right now. We all know in 2001 United States of America invaded Afghanistan because they wanted Al-Qaeda and many other terrorist organizations like Islamic State out of Afghanistan, and they wanted them not to conduct any kind of terrorist activities. So after all this happened, what happened that in 1996 to 2001 there was ruling of Taliban in Afghanistan, and that time was reign of terror, and it was a very brutal empire which led to very severe humanitarian crisis. A lot of people fled Afghanistan, a lot of people died, women lost their freedom, men had to go through a lot of pain and stuff, children were not allowed to study. Taliban was founded in September 1994 by Muhammad Omar and Abdul Ghani Baradar, but the roots for Taliban were sown way too earlier. When Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan in 1979, after that United States of America wanted Soviet Union to get out of Afghanistan, so they tried to fund local militias in which the groups like Taliban flourished. After that, with the help of ISI and CIA, groups like Taliban were formed, and which led to ousting of Soviet Russia from Afghanistan in 1989. From that time onwards, in 1994 Taliban came into being. In 1996 they overthrown the then Afghan government and they conquered Afghanistan. So this is how Taliban was born, and from 1996 to 2001 they completely ruled throughout the Afghanistan, and that was a very brutal time for the people of Afghanistan. In 2001 again United States of America invaded Afghanistan. We know in 2001 9/11 happened, and due to that United States of America faced a severe terrorist crisis. After that they wanted Al-Qaeda and Osama bin Laden out of Afghanistan, and they wanted to punish them. So United States of America, they tried to talk with Taliban, and they tried to convey them that they should hand over these militants and terrorists to them, but Taliban denied. After that United States of America along with the NATO, they tried to invade Afghanistan, and they removed the Taliban government, and they established a new democratic government which wanted to bring peace and rule of law in Afghanistan. But after 20 years, we see that that very government is no more acting, and the conditions in Afghanistan are very grim. And the United States of America and their allies are, leaving the ground. Now we see that out of 34 provinces in Afghanistan, 33 are completely under direct control of Taliban, and only Panjshir is the province which is not under their control. So now that situations have become quite clear that Taliban is going to rule Afghanistan. So now we're going to talk about what is going to the future of Afghanistan, what is going to its impact on India, and what is it's going to affect the whole world. We all know whatever happens in Afghanistan, it has a domino effect on Indian subcontinent also. So it is going to be very decisive, like how the government of India is acting right now, and how are we taking different steps so that we can figure out ways to tackle this crisis. As the Taliban takes control of Afghanistan, there are many problems looming in front of us, not just for us, not just for India, but for the whole world. And now we're going to discuss about those problems in detail. The first problem which the whole world is going to face is the refugee crisis. A lot of people are fleeing Afghanistan, and that is going to create problems all around the globe. The second thing which I would like to mention here is the illicit use of drugs and stuff. We know that Afghanistan produces a huge chunk of opium and stuff, and as the Taliban rises to power, those production will become more prolific over there. So it's going to hamper people all around the globe. We all know a lot of people in the world are facing drug issues, and even in India, especially in Punjab, there is a huge problem of drug trafficking. So as the Taliban takes power, the drug trafficking is a very rises to power. The terrorist activities all around the globe are going to increase. We know Wakhan corridor is attached to Pakistan occupied Kashmir, and that could be the route through which militants from Afghanistan may enter into Indian subcontinent, and they may destabilize the region. It is not just India, the whole world is going to face severe crisis in terms of terrorist attacks. Europe, USA and other Western countries are going to feel the heat of rise of Taliban due to this terrorist activities. And the fourth thing which I would like to mention is the trade activities between Afghanistan and India. We can see that already the trade between India and Afghanistan is very less, and as the Taliban rises to power, nowadays the trade between both the countries are shut down. So it is going to affect people from both these countries. And the last thing which I would like to mention here is grave humanitarian crisis is going to occur across Afghanistan. We know Sharia law is being imposed over there, and that may lead to subjugation of women and children. The educational right would be snatched from the people. Right to express your thoughts and opinions would be snatched away from the people. So it is going to be a very tough time for the people of Afghanistan, and let's see what are the developments coming in from Afghanistan. For right now, things are very unclear in Afghanistan. We had invested $3 billion in last 20 years, and it seems that those money and those resources which we invested are in vain right now. But we are doing observing the foreign players, what the different countries are doing, and we will be taking our steps based on those things. For right now, India is helping to help minorities and all faiths, people from all faiths from Afghanistan, and we are providing them refuge in India. So we don't know what's going to happen in future, but for right now, Indian government is not going to legitimize the Taliban government. So let's wait for the future and what is happening around the globe.